Hey there and welcome. So today we're going to tackle something that happens all the time, right? Visiting a friend's new place. We're going to give you some key English phrases so you can have a really great, smooth conversation. Ready? Let's jump right in. Okay, picture this. Your friend just moved in. You walk through the door, and there's that awkward pause. You know you want to say something nice, something engaging, but your mind just goes blank. Yeah, we've all been there. Well, this is exactly what we're going to fix today. You'll have all the confidence you need to handle that moment perfectly. Think of this less like a lesson and more like we're building a toolkit for you. A toolkit full of words and questions. And these aren't lines you have to memorize. They're just tools you can pull out to have a really genuine, positive chat. All right, so first things first impressions. You know, the easiest way to kick things off is with a great compliment. Let's look at some of the best phrases you can use the second you step inside.
This one is your absolute go-to. The house is beautiful. Simple, right? But it's so powerful. It just immediately sets a really positive, warm tone for the whole visit.
And hey, you've got options here. You can say, the house is beautiful, or you can go with, the house is lovely. Honestly, they're pretty much interchangeable. Both give off that same warm, positive vibe, so you really can't mess it up.
Okay, what if you want to be a little more specific? No problem. Here are 3 awesome options. If the place is huge, you can say, wow, the house is so big. If it's got tons of windows and natural light, the house is so airy is the perfect phrase. And what if the location is amazing? Telling them the new house is very convenient is a really thoughtful compliment. It shows you're thinking about the practical side of things.
Okay, so you've nailed the compliment. What's next? Well, now you start asking questions. This is super important because it shows you're actually interested and it gives your friend a chance to talk all about their new place.
A really good, simple one is, how is the new home? What's great about this is that it's open-ended. It lets your friends share whatever they want. And just like that, you've turned a quick compliment into a real conversation. Now, let's say they're still surrounded by boxes. A great question here is, when are you moving to the new house? This shows you care about their timeline and the whole moving process. It's practical and it's really thoughtful. Here's another one that shows you're thinking about the big picture. You can ask, are you letting out your house? Letting out just means renting. Asking this shows you're interested in what they're doing with their old place, which is a really considerate thing to ask about. Okay, now we're going to get into the details. And I know this might sound a little strange, but talking about things like the water supply is a totally normal and common topic of conversation in many places. It's a great way to show you can talk about the real, nitty-gritty stuff. So a very direct way to ask is, how is the water problem? And look, especially in areas where water can be an issue, this is a completely normal and important question. It just gets straight to the point. And if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about, here's some great vocab for water quality. You have soft water. That's when soap makes tons of bubbles, right? And then you have hard water, where it's tough to get any bubbles at all. Using these terms makes you sound super knowledgeable. Let's add one more cool word to your toolkit, brackish. Brackish just means that water is a little bit salty. You often hear this when people are talking about water from a well. It's a really specific, useful word to know. So, what if they ask you about the water? Well, if the situation is good, you can say, there is plenty of water. Or even better, there is no water problem at all. But if things aren't so great, the phrase you'd use is, there is scarcity of water. It's clear and direct.
Okay, you have the toolkit. So how about we do a super quick practice round? I'll throw a question out there, and then we'll see a possible answer. Sound good? Let's do it.
All right, first question. Let's start with that big, open-ended one. Imagine you just asked your friend.
And maybe they say something like this. See? The house is airy. That's a perfect response. It immediately makes you want to talk about the windows, the light, maybe the layout. It's a great way to keep the conversation flowing.
Okay, next up, let's try one about those practical details we talked about. And, sometimes the answer isn't all sunshine and rainbows. A response like this is totally realistic. There's scarcity of water. It's direct, it's honest, and that's exactly what happens in real conversations. All right, let's do one last practice round. This time, we're going to put some of that new vocabulary to the test. So check this out. You can see how these phrases can work together in a little back and forth. You ask a really specific question, and you get a specific answer, using that new word we learned. That right there, that's a confident conversation in action. And just like that, you're all set. You've officially got your toolkit. From that first impression and compliment all the way to asking smart, thoughtful questions, you are totally ready to handle this conversation with confidence.
So there you have it. You've got the tools. The next time you're walking into a friend's new place, you'll know exactly what to say. So, what kind of conversation do you want to be ready for next? Keep on practicing, and you'll be prepared for pretty